Do you like playing the support role, but suck at it? Are you tired of sweaty old men telling you how bad you are?
Oh, bro, you delete game, bro. You delete game now, bro. You suck, bro. Get out of game, bro. Your family, you, bro.
Well, you came to the right place, because today we are going to learn how to become a good support. Now, I'm by no means an expert at the game.
No.
I do, however, have thousands of hours spanning across Paragon, Fault, and Predecessor. I can play any role, but I would have to say my strongest role has always been support. In this video, we will focus on the basics, then move on to fundamental tips, then more in-depth advice. The basics. I'm going to assume you, the viewer, knows next to nothing about MOBAs or Predecessor and start with the absolute newbie basics, but do feel free to skip ahead if you already know the basics of a MOBA. First off, this is a minion, or creep. Once a minion's health bar turns red, they can be killed, and whoever has landed the last hit will receive gold to purchase items at the store. As a support, you should not be last hitting minions. You need to leave last hits for your carry, or ADC, so that they can claim the gold and get fat as fast as possible. The more gold your carry gets, the faster they will grow and the stronger they will become. The carry is literally there to do as the title suggests, carry the team to victory. They are the damage dealer. They are one of, if not the most important role on the team. There are, however, situations when you should take last hits as the support. One reason might be that your carry isn't by your side at the time, and it would be a waste not to try and earn a little gold for yourself. Another good reason is there might be minions in your tower that need to be cleared out to prevent damage to your tower. As a rule of thumb, I will use everything available to me to keep minions out of my tower. And lastly, if you have a keen eye and notice your carry is without a doubt not going to get a last hit on a minion, you should probably take it. So there are exceptions to taking last hits, but your priority is to let the carry get last hits and protect your tower. Wards. As the support, another one of your jobs is to ward areas like the jungle to prevent the jungler from ganking your lane or the mid laner rotating and killing you and your carry. Vision is crucial in Predecessor, and the more wards you have out in the jungle, the more survivability you have. Typically a support will ward here and here. And hopefully you have a competent carry that will also place wards whilst yours are on cooldown.
Nice.
Another good spot to ward is here further down the lane in case you are advancing on tower, or here on the Fangtooth to alert the team when the enemy is attempting to take the Fangtooth. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, so place wards and ask your carry to ward with a ping that says ward left lane, etc. Which brings me on to my next topic. Pings and communication. One of the most infuriating things about Predecessor is when people don't let their team know when enemies are missing off their respective lanes. Get used to using the ping wheel and letting your team know when the enemy duo are missing off their lane. If you don't use a microphone, you should at least be using the ping wheel. This, again, is another crucial thing in Predecessor. Your carry needs to focus on getting last hits and kills, so the last thing they need to worry about is a jungler ganking them because you didn't ping retreat. You will encounter mid laners who don't ping missing mid, so be vigilant enough to ping missing mid when the situation arises. You will be doing the whole team a favour with one simple ping. Get used to pinging ultimate ready, ward Fangtooth, attack gold buff, and so on. Stay with your carry. 90% of your time in match should be spent by your carry's side. Carries are especially vulnerable to attacks and need constant support to ensure their safety. This means even if you see your mid laner in trouble, don't just abandon your carry to go help out. One of the problems with roaming around the map, aside from what I've just said, is that you will lose out on XP. Early XP can be crucial at winning those first fights, since beating your opponent to level 6 means you can use your ultimate ability before they have theirs. Be selfless. Being selfless means putting yourself in danger to save your carry, even if it means dying in the process. Whilst dying and giving the enemy team gold is bad, it's preferable that a support dies over a carry. As an example, your carry may be on a kill streak with a bounty on their head, which would give the enemy a nice sum of gold for killing your carry. Being selfless also means not taking kills. Supports don't need kills. We've all done it sometimes. Our impulses get the better of us, and hell, sometimes even as a support, we probably deserve a kill or two. So to recap on our fundamental basics as a support: protect your carry, stay with your carry, don't roam, protect your tower, use wards, de-ward, communicate, use the ping wheel, don't kill steal, and don't take last hits. Buffer zone. So with all that in mind, we are ready to move on to more in-depth tactics. I like to create what I call a buffer zone, which is an imaginary zone between my carry and the enemy heroes. As the support, you need to hover in this buffer zone just in front of your carry. The only time you should be behind your carry is if you are low HP. Tanky heroes such as Steel are perfect for hanging around in the buffer zone and attracting the attention of the enemy. His shields are especially good for not only protecting your carry from damage, but preventing the enemy carry from getting last hits. Ranged heroes such as Muriel are great for peeling the enemy, which means pestering the enemy carry with shots to disrupt their focus. Learn to flow with the movement of your carry, the enemy duo and the minions, which leads me on to when you should consider attacking. Keep an eye on how many minions are present. If there are several, it might not be the best time to attack. Minions in numbers do damage, especially to your squishy carry. However, if you are feeling super confident, or the jungler or mid laner is coming in for a gank, then have at it. So control and maintain your buffer zone, but don't take unnecessary damage. You will encounter very aggressive duos at times who will prevent you from taking ground, so fall back, use your tower as defense, and hopefully the jungler will take advantage of the overextended enemy. Distance management and movement. Managing distance is key to provoking your enemy into whiffing shots. Whilst working in your buffer zone, your enemy will be more inclined to shoot at you and not your carry, which is exactly what you want. But if you can manage distance and move in unpredictable patterns, then you will frustrate and unnerve your enemy. If you want to be the bully and not the victim, dodge shots and strike when the moment comes. So that's several core tactics to deploy whilst in the field. If you have some helpful ideas, drop them down in the comments section, and don't forget to leave a like and sub. Thanks. Know your enemy. Along your journey through the ranks of Predecessor, you will no doubt try out multiple heroes. Understanding what each hero is capable of will really help improve your skills as a support. Just as an example, if I'm playing Steel support and the enemy support is Richter, I welcome the hook. If Richter hooks Steel, he has essentially done part of my job for me by dragging me closer to his carry. Decker, on the other hand, can easily cage heroes like Sparrow or Murdoch, but Skylar can just fly out of there. In my opinion, Predecessor is one of those games where it's best to be a jack of all trades rather than a master of one. But honestly, if you don't know which support to pick to counter the enemy, just pick Steel. He's essentially a go-to support. Whilst Richter is an incredible support, he's a bit trickier to get used to. Here are some extra tips and tricks to polish up your support game. This tip relates to movement again. Bait your enemies with slick movement and agility. Those kill-hungry carries love to pursue when you're low HP, and maybe you can bait them into an ambush. I've survived many times and got kills by having good movement and a solid GTFO tactic that leave your enemy devastated. I'm just going to show you this short clip of me playing Decker support to show you what good movement and awareness looks like. I don't panic, and I'm fully aware that I have my tower's defense and my blink ready to fire off. Whilst my carry dies, you will see that it's the enemy that comes off worse in this encounter.
Please help.
Anticipate. Again, this tip relates to an earlier piece of advice, which is knowing your enemy. The key word I want to use here is anticipation. Learn how to anticipate attacks. Watch the enemy's movements closely. Are they applying a lot of pressure? Maybe it's because the jungler is coming in for a gank. Has your enemy used any abilities in the last few seconds? If so, they will probably be on cooldown. When did your enemy last use their blink? Have they used their ult? How much mana do they have? Have they used all their wards? If you can process all this sort of stuff, you'll be better able to anticipate what is coming your way. So that about does it for this video. Hopefully you will have learned a thing or two about how to be a good support. I'm sure I've missed a couple things here and there, so if I have, let me know in the comments. I was going to add an extra chapter to the end to let you know which sort of supports are good for a new player, but I think that should be a discussion for another video. As you've heard me mention already, Steel is an ideal support to start your journey. Lastly, I'm about as good at editing as I am at getting to Platinum, so apologies if the editing is a little janky or the audio sounds a little strange. I did put quite a bit of effort into making this video, so I would really appreciate a sub. Thanks, and I will see you on the battlefield.